What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Heat Vision Podcast. Tonight we have Mario and Javi, and we're going to be reviewing Morbius, which Mario and we just saw. Javi, saw
it yesterday. I saw it last night.
Okay, yeah, you saw it. Okay, you saw it last. Oh, yeah, right, because you texted me. And
then what's it called?
What, go on?
I was gonna say, and then also after Morbius, a little later, we're gonna talk about episode 1
of Moon Knight. Right. So tune in for that.
So we're gonna be talking about both, but we've decided to talk about Morbius first, and then we're gonna talk about Moon Knight a little later in the podcast. We want to talk about Morbius because since we just recently saw it, relatively, like I saw it last night, y'all just saw it today. Our memories on it, or our thoughts about it, are like fresh. So
we're gonna. I say we're gonna do it separate. We're gonna keep Morbius separate and then Moon Knight separate. Like, no, we're not gonna do it on the same.
Two separate podcasts.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Just so it looks cleaner. You know what I mean? Like, people could click on it and whatnot. Like, whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, we're gonna be reviewing Morbius, man.
First of all, before we talk about it, have y'all seen the reviews for it?
Yeah.
Like
19% on Rotten Tomatoes.
On 19%, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been trashing on it.
Yeah.
Like, first, before we talk about the movie, like, what were your guys' thoughts when you saw it? Like, I know Hector, he's always been, I don't listen to reviews. I don't care. I gotta.
It's
see
funny
because
I'm reviewing.
Yeah.
That's kind of ironic. Yeah.
But, like, he's one of those people where he's like, I don't listen to the reviews. Like, I have to go see it for myself and see what I think. And I get that. But, like, during, like, the week, the anticipation of, Morbius coming out this weekend, and little by little, you've been seeing reviews or what people have been saying. Have you guys had any thoughts as to what...
I mean, it definitely lowered my expectations for the movie.
Okay.
I'll tell you that much. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to completely just... like throw it under the water immediately before I even see the movie, but I'm just like, all right, people are saying this is bad, and I mean, like, a lot of people, not just a few people, just I mean, like, a majority of people are saying this movie is complete garbage and it's a waste of time. I'm like, it's one of those where, like, I gotta go see for myself,
right? But
I am going in with low expectations. I don't know about Hector.
So, well, yeah, go ahead, because I got some stuff to say about it.
So, obviously, I was on Twitter and I saw, like, oh, I want my money back. I want this. I seen a dude who went to the premiere before the official release. He went the day before, and he said, hey, guys, look, I'm here to watch Morbius, and there's no one here. And he was legit buying. He was alone in the theater. He's like, what the fuck's going on?
I saw a meme the other day on Instagram, and it was Goku and Vegeta. And Goku was like, let's fight somewhere empty. And they were fighting in the auditorium for Morbius.
That's actually funny as shit.
I was dying laughing, bro.
That's actually funny as shit. That's actually funny as shit. But God. And then the dude was like, he's like, yeah, let's only talk about Morbius from the comics. And then he just ended the video. And so, obviously, I've been seeing all these things, and I was like, oh, shit. Usually here's the thing, right? So the reason why, like, I say, like, oh, I don't care about reviews, I don't care about Rotten Tomatoes, I don't care about this, I gotta see it, because there's been movies where people say, this is dog shit, don't watch this, and I actually enjoy it, or not really enjoy it, but more like...
it wasn't as bad as
you said. You know what I mean? And not only that, I feel like when you watch reviews, and you hear other people's opinions before you see the movie, and especially if it's negative reviews, most people go in to see the movie already in mind that it's gonna be bad, and then they try to see the things that are bad and try to nitpick it, and you know what I mean, and like they go in with not a clear slate. They already go in with a negative mind, like a negative perspective in mind already. So that's why I don't really watch reviews, or I do watch them, but I don't let them affect me, because I want to go in there clean slate, and that's what I did. Yeah. But yeah, there was some points where I was like, damn, really? Because Morbius, he's a fucking cool character, from the comic books and everything, with him debuting in Spider-Man and everything. And he's a good character.
As much as all I know about Morbius is what I've seen
from the movie.
No. Oh, well, okay. That too now. But
the animated?
The animated 90s Spider-Man
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Like, if you had, like, the one episode I saw him in when he was there, like, fighting Spider-Man, that's it, though.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I don't know nothing else. Like, when I was little, like, I remember watching that episode.
Usually with...
that was it.
With comic book heroes and villains, I usually read their origins, like from comic books, and a couple issues in, and then I usually just fall off, and I get interested in another character, and so I am familiar with his origins, and everything. So I was able to make the connections with the movie, and I'll explain to you guys what that is. But yeah, mine, like I said, there was a time where I was like, oh shit, like this movie I heard is bad, and especially when you said I just saw it, and you said, don't watch it, save your money.
Yeah.
You know, even coming that from you, because I know like you love these movies just as much as me, you know, and you're a big fan of these characters and everything. So when you said that, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
If anything, I know I say I don't trust people's words, but if I were to trust someone's word or whatever, I'll take your word over than Rotten fucking Tomatoes and all these other people. I don't know, because I know you personally. But yeah, that was my initial
So for
reaction.
me, bro, like I had the feeling that this movie was not going to be good a while ago, because I don't know if you guys knew this, but Morbius was supposed to come out back in 2020.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, it did, that. But because of pandemic and because of the COVID shit, the movie kept getting delayed. But the thing is, it did. I don't know if you guys remember that X-Men movie that came out a couple years ago, The New Mutants.
Oh, yeah.
That movie, same thing, same deal, is that it kept getting delayed, but because of the COVID shit. And then once that movie got delayed like 3 times, people started to lose interest, because it's like, bro, you motherfucker, like this movie just keeps getting delayed. And the movie came out and it turned out to be mid. I didn't see it personally, just because I heard the movie was so I never actually saw it. But Morbius, fucking, that movie got delayed 7 times, bro. Like 7 or 8 times. It was supposed to come out 2 years ago, and it barely just came out. So after every delay, I got less and less interested. I'm like, bro, like this movie's never gonna come out, because if this movie was good and the studio felt like Sony, right? If they felt like this is a good movie, and like then they would just release it. You know what I mean? I feel. But for them to keep delaying it because for whatever reason, I don't know, I kind of started losing interest. I'm like, bro, like a company wouldn't delay a movie this much if they were confident that the movie was good. So I was already,
especially when they have a reputation for the Amazing Spider-Man, 1, 2, and Venom Let There Be Carnage, which obviously we'll eventually do a review on those. But in my opinion, I'm not gonna lie, those movies were the weaker links for in Marvel movies, in my opinion. You know what I mean? That's just what I think.
Right. But yeah, that's how I kind of had the feeling. So I was like, I don't know.
Right.
And then the movie came out. And after 7 delays and after 2 years, the movie finally comes out, right? And but like my anticipation, I was like, I don't know, like like when I saw the trailer, the first one, it did admittedly, I was like, yo, that looks sick, right?
Yeah.
Like, it looks really cool.
Fuck yeah.
And the makeup, at least I thought it was makeup on Jared Leto as Morbius looked really cool. And then when you see the movie, it turns out it's CGI, but still looked cool nonetheless.
Yeah.
But as the more it got delayed and more trailers I saw, the less I got interested. I don't know. I was just kind of like, I'm just kind of like over it. I'm like, dude, like if it's not coming out soon, like then I don't care for it. But yeah, all week I've just been seeing reviews like what you guys have been saying. 19% Rotten Tomatoes. Everyone's trashing on it. I go on TikTok and people are like, bro, like this movie's trash, blah blah blah. And like I'm like, okay. So I went to go see it mainly because I went to go see it with a friend. And she was really excited for this movie. She's like, no, like, it looks cool, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't know. Because the reviews have been saying it's Like, I'll go in there open-minded, obviously. I always will. But, you know, like, we'll see. But that was basically my thoughts. Is that you guys have been like, oh, well, all week the bad review. But, like, the thing is, I've kind of had a feeling that this movie wasn't going to be good years ago when it got delayed 7 fucking times. Right. It was supposed to come out 2 years ago. You know what I mean? But that's just me. But now that that's out the way, let's actually talk.
Right.
What y'all thought about the movie?
You know,
who wants to go first? Because there's a lot. I have a lot to say.
All right. So honestly, I think Mario and we talked about this. We're probably gonna be in the minority.
Oh.
And honestly, I didn't think the movie was dog shit like people were saying. You know, I like the way people say don't watch it is the most shittiest movie. I don't agree with that. It's not a good movie like compared to these especially like Marvel shows and all these other MCU movies, obviously. But it's not dog shit to what people were making it seem to be.
Yeah.
Because from the beginning to like half of the movie, I was actually enjoying it. And I don't know if it's because I'm familiar with Morbius from the comic books a bit, from Origins. Because in the beginning, the way they portray him in the movie, it's related as fuck to his origins.
Like comic book accurate?
Yup.
Oh, okay.
And if you want, I can explain that to you. So just so we could get out the way and whatnot. Well, obviously, if you're listening to this, we're gonna be talking about spoilers, everyone. So just letting y'all know now.
Oh yeah, we should have said that.
Yeah,
Yeah, spoilers for Morbius, the movie.
Yeah.
Well, every review is
podcast.
going to be a spoiler, so like
Some reviews don't. Some reviews don't. Do
Well, some of them
spoilers.
try to tread lightly. Some of them don't actually go into detail. Like, well,
Yeah.
so and so died.
No, we are. We are though.
We're gonna like dissect the movie everywhere. Like, we're gonna
As
talk
best as
about
we
shit.
can. As best as we can.
Right.
So, with Morbius in the comic books that I'm familiar with from the origins, he first appeared in The Amazing Spider-Man issue 101, where Peter Parker actually wants to cure himself and he does not want to be Spider-Man anymore. I'm sure you remember that from the animated series, I think, right? And,
Vaguely, but yeah.
So Peter Parker doesn't want to be Spider-Man anymore. He literally starts meddling with, what Peter Parker does, right? Like whatever, serum, whatever, antidotes, whatever the fuck, right? And he injects himself and he makes it worse. He actually grows 3 arms out of his body.
That's where that's from.
Yeah.
The 6-armed Spider-Man.
Yep, the 6-armed Spider-Man. And so then Morbius makes his appearance. They start fighting and whatnot. And then in issue 102, that's when we get to see his origins. And we know his origins from like basically how he became Morbius, not when he was a kid, because that's later on, which they did a pretty good job here. But he was a kid because of his condition, his illness, and they kept him. His parents kept him away, whatnot, at this hospital. But we'll get to Milo and all those people in a bit. I'll say what I got to say about that.
Sure.
But so in issue 102, the way they show Morbius's origins is they just see him laying on the ground. He's daydreaming. He's dreaming about what happened. And so what happened is Michael Morbius, he's a Nobel Prize winner. He's a smart scientist, like we've seen.
genius.
And he wants to cure himself because his illness, like his cells are breaking down and he can't like reproduce or, something like that, right? And so and it's crazy, his fiance in the comic books, they're already fiance, was Martine.
Okay.
From the movie.
Okay.
And then Michael had a friend named Nikos, which was basically Martine's role in the movie, where she played like his partner, like a lab partner. That was Nikos in the comic books. And Martine had no idea. She's like, "What are you guys doing down here?" Right? And then he's like, "No, we can." Morbius is basically saying, "No, hey, whatever you do, Nikos, do not tell my fiance what we're doing. Blah blah blah. She'll freak out. Whatever." And he tells Morbius tells Nikos, we in order to do this experiment, whatever, which they did it like right here in the movie where they're meddling with bats and whatnot, but they do it differently. The same thing is where they have to go out to sea. So in the comic books, they go out to sea. Martine decides to go with, because she's like, if you're leaving, I'm coming with, And so they finally get out in this open sea. Martine, I think, says, "Oh, I'm sleepy or whatnot." She's about to go to sleep. Then Morbius is like, "Okay, Nikos, this is our chance. Let's go." And they go to the laboratory. And instead of what they do in the movie, because what they do with the movie is a serum. And in the comic books, they use I think DNA of the bat, but they put them in this like electric like machine that like shocks them and shit. And so what happens essentially is Morbius is on this machine. He's getting all shocked and whatnot, and he's like screaming in agony. And Nikos is like, "Oh my god!" It's kind of like a Spider-Man 1, where
with the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where like he's like freaking out, and then the friend is like, he stops it and whatnot. So that's what happens. And Nikos is like, "Yo, are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And he starts talking like how old comic books are. They're really cheesy. He's like, the light is glimmering on my skin, like bullshit, Yeah. But that's just so. Anyways, he ends up killing him. He ends up killing Nikos, his friend, his partner.
Yeah.
And later he realizes what he's done. He's like, "Oh my god, I just killed you, Nikos. Please forgive me. What am I? I'm a monster." And he finally goes upstairs, and that's where he kills. Like in the movie, he kills the seaman that's controlling like the boat or whatnot. And then he's like, what am I doing? He's like, I'm a monster. I'm this. I'm that. And then he finally starts craving more blood. And he is thinking about his wife. So he's like, oh my God, he's going to kill his wife. But he stops himself. He's like, no, I can't. And he jumps off the boat trying to kill himself. But obviously we know that he doesn't end up killing himself. And that's pretty much his origins. It's definitely different compared to the way they did it with the movies.
Yeah.
But it's very, very similar. And that's why I think I enjoyed it. And also another, I guess, fun fact, Morbius only appeared in The Amazing Spider-Man 101 and 102 since he was a new character at the time. The Amazing Spider-Man was like with best-selling comic books. And they didn't want to introduce a new character in the main like storyline because in case people don't like it and they don't want to buy anymore. Yeah. So then they moved Morbius into Marvel Team Up, I think issue 3 and 4, and then Morbius appeared in other issues there's a run where he is part of Legion of Monsters.
Okay.
There's a run where called Midnight Suns. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Midnight.
Heard of it. There's a
Midnight
game
Suns
coming out called Midnight Suns,
which is like involves Ghost Rider, Morbius, and all these other cool characters. Dr. Langford, I think. And so Midnight Suns, what happens is it takes place. What's happening in that story, basically, is Martine looking for Morbius, because Martine doesn't know where Morbius went, and she gets help from Dr. Langford and Ghost Rider to help him find. What happened?
I was about to sneeze and then it went away.
Oh, and she hires Ghost Rider and all these characters to find Morbius. So that's a run. And then there was a part in history where Morbius was in magazines instead of comic books, because in comic books you could have it has to be approved by the comic Federation bullshit, right? Yeah. So there was a point in time where Morbius was in magazines, so you could see nudity, more gruesome shit, stuff like that. But that's basically his origins. That's basically what you got to know. I know later in the issues they explain his childhood origins, they explained it in the movie pretty well. But I will say this: Milo, I don't know who the fuck that guy is. Never heard of him from the comic books. Okay, I don't know, and I think I looked it up because I didn't know who that was. I'm like, who is this guy? And I think I saw
he was originally supposed to be someone else.
Lucian, right? Or it was supposed to be him, but it's Milo, so someone's different. He says Morbius Nemesis isn't a direct descent of Marvel Comics. That's what I looked up.
Okay.
So I guess Milo this is their own thing that they're doing.
Sure.
And same with the synthetic blood, because later in the movie you find out that Morbius created synthetic blood, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And which is this blue blood shit. That I had no idea either. I don't know if it was in the comic books. I think I looked up somewhere in an interview, and I think Jared Leto said that that blue blood bullshit, somebody in the back just whipped it up and they just went with it. So I wasn't familiar with that.
Sure.
But from the beginnings, how they showed Morbius, the way I explained it was very similar to the movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's why that's why I wasn't this is so dog shit, because I think it's because I was able to make those connections.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, this is pretty similar, and I actually liked it. Obviously, there was a few parts that were stupid.
Yeah.
And parts I didn't like, but but yeah, that's essentially his origins. And yeah, obviously after you say what you got to say, we'll go to the parts where we don't like and whatnot. You know? But yeah, that's pretty much it.
I mean, if I'm being, can I go?
Yeah.
So I'll be honest with you. The list of things that I liked is very short.
All right, let's hear it.
So, the thing that I liked about Morbius basically had to do with his powers. But that was it. The way
so the powers you don't like?
No, that was the only thing that I liked.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
His powers were cool.
Right.
The fact that he was able to use
echolocation,
the echolocation, and then it made everything looked foggy. That was cool. That was a cool effect.
Right.
The way that he was able to hear shit with his ear, that's basically the Daredevil thing from the TV show.
Yeah.
That was cool. The way he would run really fast and stuff, and he would go slow mo, and he'd leave a trail. That was cool.
They did a lot of those shots. I don't know if you noticed, right?
Yeah,
like that
yeah,
slow-mo
they
shots.
overdo it. Yeah, but it's still like it looked cool.
Yeah.
But that's
it.
That's all I liked, bro. And I have a lot to say about what I didn't like.
Yeah, go for it. Let's see.
All right, so I guess this is our transition to talk about what we didn't like about Morbius.
What about?
Did you want to say anything? Like, as far as what did you like?
Because I think,
or did you feel that the movie was as bad as people have said all week?
yeah. Because for example, he didn't like. He just liked the powers. I liked the beginning. It's because of the whole origins things from the comic books that I've read.
Yeah.
And yeah, what do you think, Mario? Was it as bad? What are the things you liked?
I don't think it's as bad as people are saying. I don't think it's a great movie.
And here's the thing.
I don't.
He didn't read the comics. He doesn't know Morbius from comics. Yeah. So for him to say this is pretty okay.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I didn't either.
What I'm saying is, I feel like if people who maybe were familiar with the comic books, like at least his origins, maybe they'll show a little appreciation that it was pretty similar, like from the movie. I think that's the only thing I could really say is maybe just give little props and don't completely dog shit on the movie, but really is like, okay, you know what? This is actually similar to his origins in the comic books.
Yeah,
I can respect that. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's my opinion though. That's what I think. But go on, Mario.
But I was saying, I like the beginning of the movie. I did like the like how they introduced the character. I think the CGI was pretty good because I did like the like the smoky effect whenever he.
You know what it reminded me of, bro? It reminded me of like Nightcrawler. You know, from the X-Men games. You know Nightcrawler. From
yeah.
Where like he teleports and it's that little mist and shit.
Yeah. It's
I know what you're talking about now.
The X-Men video game that was based off
the movie.
The X-Men 3 movie.
Dude, that was a lit video game.
Yeah. It was a lit video game. It made no sense though because Nightcrawler wasn't even in the third X-Men movie.
Bro, I didn't care. Bro, we were kids, huh? We don't give a fuck.
I know. I just think it's funny because it's like he was such a standout in the second X-Men movie. They don't bring him back for the third one, but whatever. Third one's mid anyways. But that game was fucking lit.
That's you know when like he teleports and like the little you can see like the blue mist
like,
around him. That's what reminded me of. That's when actually I saw
funny.
Morbius.
That never occurred to me. But like now that you mention it, it is like that.
Yeah,
it's funny that never occurred to me while watching the movie. But okay, cool. Anything else?
No, I'm gonna say all I can besides that power. I like his powers. I like the origins.
I guess I should say. The CGI looked cool, like on his face, like that made him look like the van. That was cool.
I like the CGI. It didn't stand out to me where it was like really bad. You know, I thought it was okay. I was like, all right, yeah, I could get with this.
Yeah,
but what Hector said about what he liked and what you said about your like, it's basically what like I have both of those. Like he really likes the origin story, and you really like his powers. I'm on the same boat. Other than that, I just like the whole like first half of this movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I can vividly tell you the point where I think it went south for me.
Okay.
What part was that?
I can already tell what I already know what he's gonna say.
It's when they
I can bet I know when he's gonna say.
It's when he's finally like gone like not rogue, but like the cops are after him. Remember they're like chasing him.
Oh,
remember?
When the detectives are like when they try to handcuff him and then Morbius like starts fighting the two.
And he tries to escape because like there's this one scene where I'm just like, wait, what the fuck? It's when they I'm just like, how is that? Like this man has fucking flash because he just ran up these set of stairs like super fucking quick.
I don't know if you remember. It was when
Tyrese Gibson.
It was when Morbius legit went.
He
went zooming
like just like at least like 10 flight of stairs, right? And the camera cuts to him pointing up and looking like, oh my god, he went up there.
And he catches up to him.
And he catches up. I'm like, wait, this motherfucker the flash? How the fuck did he get?
The same thing came to my head.
Bro, me and Mario looked at each other like, bro, how the fuck did he get up there so fast?
Yeah, I'm like, this dude should
this man the Flash. This man the Flash. What the
and right
fuck?
there, I'm just like, wait, is it getting shitty now? I'm just like, no, I was enjoying it. I'm like, damn, people were wrong. I'm like, wait, I think it's starting to get shitty now.
For you, was it earlier than that when you felt like it was going downhill?
I didn't like it from the beginning.
From the beginning?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm telling you, like, I didn't like this movie.
Go on. Why not? Yeah, explain.
Dude, I have a lot to say.
All right, you go for it.
All right.
I want to hear.
It's funny.
First of all,
it's
I
funny.
hate the actor.
It's funny. No, okay, here's my thing.
No, I'm joking. That's a joke.
No, here's my thing. Jared Leto does the best that he can with the script that he's given. Like, he is he's a good actor. Like, I've seen him in good things, but
Yeah.
like, obviously, he screwed the pooch with Joker.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather just pretend it never existed. He did better. He was a better Joker in the Snyder Cut. Regardless,
definitely,
it
yeah.
was like a minute and a half of screen time,
Mm-hmm.
but it was still better. He didn't act as cringy or as over dramatic with his acting. Like, his Joker in Snyder Cut was better, but you know, he does the best that he could. And I actually did like, you know, Jared Leto like was fine as Morbius. Like, when I heard, oh, Jared Leto got cast to play Morbius the Living Vampire, when I heard that news, I'm like, that actually sounds pretty cool. Like, I couldn't think of another actor who could play Morbius with the hair and the look and the acting. I mean, sure, I could see it if they pull it off.
The Rock.
Fuck no, bro. Fuck no.
They put The Rock in everything.
I could buy The Rock playing Black Adam, but if you told me that motherfucker
Yeah.
was playing,
I can't wait. I literally cannot wait. For
I'd
that
actually
movie.
like kill myself.
He's
bro.
playing. He plays Gwen Stacy in a multiverse.
No, you know what you know who'll play? You know how there's Spider-Man, but then
Yeah.
there's that version of Spider-Man where he becomes the Hulk.
That's
That's
him.
The Rock. Like, the suit's ripping, it's green and
Yeah.
shit. That's The Rock, bro.
Yeah.
No, dude, I'm telling you, like, from the beginning, I didn't like this fucking movie.
That's crazy.
Here's my thing. Here's what I didn't understand, and I don't know. Maybe y'all can help me answer my question. He gets his Morbius powers when he gets that injection on his back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, what was the point of him cutting his hand into the cave and all the bats flew through?
Oh, to lure the bats.
So you had to draw him.
Okay. I thought that's how he got his powers.
No.
I'm like, oh, like are
No,
the bats gonna bite him and like radioactive bite?
No,
Like,
so
I thought it was gonna
so
be
he
something
did that to lure the bats, so he could
Trap 'em.
transport them to his lab. That's why you see the bats in his lab.
I was confused. I'm like, what was the point of that scene then? Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, in that case, then never mind.
yeah.
That scene is okay. Now that you guys answer it, it makes more sense. That scene's fine, but it's the scene after that
Okay, which is
when he was like flashback, like since he was a kid.
right.
I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
I could say the little bullies that were bullying.
That made
Dude,
no
their
sense.
their acting was pretty bad. I'm not gonna
Well,
lie. I didn't
it's
like
not
their
even so
acting.
much that. It's that it wasn't believable. They were
No.
bullying the little Milo kid
Yeah.
over a
Did you
letter.
find believable when
Like, my man's crippled and you're
Yeah.
bullying him over a, like, if I was a bully,
Yeah.
I'd come after your fucking disability.
Yeah.
I'd make fun of you for being crippled. But you're making fun of, like, it's not realistic. Like, these are not realistic bullies. Y'all make
Right.
fun of him. You're all like laughing.
they're jumping him and
Tee-hee,
shit.
This letter, and that's
They're
another. Okay,
jumping him.
I'll get to that later.
Okay.
Because like the kids jumping him, like that's
Yeah.
something that I want to talk about later. But I'll get to that in a bit. But my issue is that it's funny that you guys say I enjoyed the beginning, like the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, I did.
Because I couldn't. I didn't. And the reason is all in the editing. The editing of the movie. The movie felt like it was rushing, like it was going too fast.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like the
I agree
movie
with
was
that.
trying to feed you information
I can agree with that.
too fast. Like it was trying to. It was just like
You know,
like backstory, like you know, info, and it's
not
like
to jump so quickly at the end, but when the movie ended, I literally looked at Mario. I'm like, that's it. Like it fell off short.
Yeah,
I was like, what? That's it? Okay, and that's what. And so I agree with the pacing. It felt very rushed. Like everything felt rushed.
And
I can agree with that. I can see that.
It kept giving you exposition like
Yeah, I can see
of
that.
things way too fast, rather than like a normal movie would like pace itself better and take its time explaining to the audience certain things. But it felt like this movie was in a time. It felt like as if the movie was on like a time restraint, and so they had to like edit the scenes to feed the audience information in a quick amount of time. So the scenes kept happening really fast. Like I didn't even like the whole thing about Morbius getting to know Milo since they were kids and all that shit. Like I didn't buy their friendship. I didn't buy the brotherhood friendship because
It felt rushed.
it
Yeah,
felt
same
rushed.
here.
Like there wasn't enough time for me
Like-
to be like, oh,
Like
These
there
are
wasn't more memories with them.
that's what you know what I mean? They just kind of have to tell you, well, they've been friends since they were little.
Right.
Is that not enough? No, homie. In a movie, you don't do that. You show us
Yeah.
that there's a, you know what I mean? But whatever is what it is. But no, like I couldn't like it because the editing was too rushed. I'm like, dude, like y'all are throwing so much at me and I can't keep up. Like I try to, but it's like when you're giving me exposition really, really fast, it's like I'll forget things or I won't capture everything. At least when you take your time explaining shit,
Yeah.
that'll let the audience be like, oh, okay, I get it now. Or you know what I mean? I don't know. I felt like since the beginning it was being rushed and all that stuff, so I didn't even like that. What else didn't I like? I call absolute bullshit on the romance.
Oh, between
I told him this too.
Between Morbius and Martine?
Yes.
Yeah.
There was no chemistry. I never once bought that they were ever in love.
No, I just thought like partners.
They acted strictly like partners, and then next thing you know, they're on the rooftop and they're like kissing and shit. I'm like, where did this come from? I never once bought that they were into
I feel like
each other.
it was rushed. It was rushed.
It came out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, so
like
these they're
forced.
romantically involved? Like, you don't buy it. There's no chemistry. I don't buy the fact that these two ever liked each other or that they would like. That came out of nowhere. I'm like, what is this, bro?
Yeah.
It felt like one of those things where like every superhero movie needs a love interest, so let's just make one up for Morbius, and so they kind of like. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, in the comic books, Martine was
exactly. Don't get me wrong. It is comic book accurate, but at least a better movie would be able to establish the relationship better.
Well, like obviously, like, but Martine and Michael were already with her fiance before he transformed to Morbius.
Sure.
In the comic books,
Sure.
and right here,
I don't know if
they're
they
not.
are or
No,
not.
they're not.
They're not.
I don't think so. No,
Like I said,
didn't get that vibe.
I don't care.
I got the vibe that they were just partners, and then like you said, all of a sudden, kiss me, and they just kiss.
Right.
And it's like,
and like, where
okay.
did this come from? Like,
For real.
maybe if they were like not, if they weren't romantically involved,
Right.
if they were not together, they were just partners. But like, if you showed us scenes
Yeah.
of them like bonding or like maybe being a little flirty, then you'd
Yeah.
be like, oh, okay, there's
Or
something.
maybe Milo pulls like a Spider-Man type shit where Milo captures Martine and then Morbius saves her.
Well, the thing
something
is,
like that. I don't know.
Well, they technically kind of did that.
Yeah,
kind of. But then again, the thing is, even if
I don't really see it though.
well,
like
here's
that,
here's
though.
the thing, Hector. Here's the thing. Even if they did that,
Okay.
what you're saying, even if they did, it still wouldn't be good.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Because they didn't establish it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see. There was no chemistry.
Yeah,
There was
you're
no
right.
scenes of bonding. They were just partners, and it literally felt like it came out of nowhere. Like, it just, now they're on the rooftop and they're making out, and it's like, oh, y'all liked each other? What the fuck? Like, I was with Milo. Like, are y'all together? Like, I was confused like him.
Yeah.
Y'all always together. Like, are you actually? I was like, yeah, that's a great question. Like, no, but like they're partners, and then they're kissing on the roof, and I'm like, I guess not. Like,
So I think what it kind of felt.
it felt rushed.
No, it kind of felt like going into this movie, you were supposed to already know about Morbius or like his past shit. Kind of like when they reintroduce Spider-Man, they don't show you his origins because like we already know. But with Morbius, I could maybe like they rushed it to the point where like if you were supposed to know something between Martine and Morbius like a long time ago. And that's I don't know. I'm saying like that's how I felt like tried doing it, which was shitty.
Right.
It's his first movie. It's an origin thing. You should see from the beginning, like you said, if they have a love interest, show it from the beginning and let it gradually get bigger and
I
bigger,
feel like
rather
what
than
would've
like
benefited
yeah.
this movie more is if it was longer than 2 hours. Because this movie's like an hour 45.
Oh, okay, I was right because it fell short. It did feel
But
short
like,
to me.
if the movie was over 2 hours, at least there would have been a potential to have scenes that had more stuff in it, that fleshed out characters and stuff, and not have it feel as rushed as this.
Or
movie
dude,
did.
what if we're so used to watching the Snyder Cut and Batman, all these long ass movies, that when we see like back then normal movies that's just hour 30, hour 45, we're like, man, this shit's short as fuck. You know what I'm talking about? Imagine.
Maybe, bro.
No, bro, I don't think it's that because
I've seen
the first Deadpool movie is less than 2 hours, and
Shit,
that movie's.
I haven't seen that movie.
But it's.
in a long
I
time.
recently watched it like a month ago.
really?
The first one, it's less than 2 hours long, and it does it all right. Like,
No, yeah.
you know what I mean? like they have scenes where you buy the relationship with the girl. Like, it shows his flashback, like how he got the cancer, how he becomes his hero. Like, it's
You're
very
right, yeah. I remember that.
It takes its time
They
to
showed
show
it.
you. With Morbius, the first, like, the introduction, the whole backstory, the flashback, it felt rushed.
You just
Like,
see-
it felt
though,
like
I
it
think-
rushed through
I
it.
think the only time you see them bond really is when they're at that coffee shop,
Yeah.
right? And that was it. Like,
And then I didn't like how he saved Milo with the spring of the pen. Like, wait a minute, you saved him by putting the spring? Well,
Yeah.
you know what? You're a genius, and there's a school for people like you. And it's like that's movie talk for, hey, audience, this person's genius.
yeah.
Get it? Because I just said he's a genius and that he should go to a school for genius. It's basically the audience it's the movie telling the audience, hey guys, this guy's a genius. Like, show us, like, you know what I mean? I guess they kind of did because he like opened a little machine and he put he tried to fix it and he revived them. I guess, but like maybe they could have done it better. Like it felt rushed. That scene where the fucking Milo passes the fuck out, and Morbius, Milo, are you okay? Wake up! And he opened the machine. That whole segment was like 20 seconds.
You know what I thought? And I think Mario might have thought the same thing. When I first saw that, I thought, because like you know how they kept saying that like the people next to Michael, like they were gone or what, they passed away or something.
Something like yeah.
So what I thought right there is that Michael did something to the kid on purpose, and that's why he passed out. And then he was scrapping for parts or some bullshit. That's what I thought was going. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I don't know why. That's what I thought. My initial thought. Maybe. But obviously, like, it's probably stupid or whatnot. But another thing I want to mention is, I forgot to mention in the comic books, they introduced Morbius as a villain. You know, he's a fucking villain. Yeah. Then people ended up liking him. They made him into an anti-hero, and then so now he kills people, but criminals, and that's how he gets his blood. Mm-hmm. The one thing I don't like is I don't like that they made him, like I said, they rushed it. They made him into a hero real quick. You know what I mean? They made him into a hero real quick. We're like, oh no, I don't want to do this anymore. Blah blah blah. You know, and I wanted to see more of Morbius doing some evil shit, and then realizing like, no, like I don't want to do this anymore. I have to, you know, focus on terrible people, whatever. I just felt like it was rushed. They made him to a hero rush. That's just my opinion, though. I wanted to see him do more evil things first, and then make him maybe have an epiphany or make him realize, like, you know what, like I can't do this or whatnot. Like I gotta be better than this, or for Martine or something. You know what I mean? Something like that. I don't know, but that's just my opinion on that.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's funny that you guys like, oh, I like the beginning. I was like, no.
I did, man.
It felt rushed. The editing was choppy. It felt like the movie was moving way too fast. I didn't like it.
Like, I do agree. Like I said, I do agree that it seemed a bit rushed, but I still enjoyed it. Not like, whoa, this is like really fucking good, but also not like, whoa, this is dog shit, or this. Excuse me. It's like, this is really bad. Like the way you're saying it, I enjoyed it. Like I said, maybe it's because of the comic books.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Guess.
I don't know. This is what I thought.
But, and then, like I said, the romance, I didn't buy it. I didn't buy the relationship. With,
and then we laughed at the. Oh, sorry. Another thing that I wanna say. I'm gonna be real. I didn't laugh at any of the jokes in the movie.
Were there jokes?
Thank you. But no, let's be real. No, here's the thing. You know, they tried. They tried to make the jokes, but that's the thing. It failed. I didn't laugh at any of them. You could tell that it was meant for for the audience to laugh.
Yeah.
You know, like the fucking detective with the holy water shit. Yeah. You know, I didn't laugh at that. I think a few people in our theater did. I didn't laugh at that. The whole, who the fuck are you? I am Venom. I didn't laugh at that. I was like, okay. I didn't laugh at that. Yeah. There's other shit that I didn't laugh at, and I was like, wow, like I can tell that these are jokes, but they're shitty fucking jokes. Yeah. I don't fucking like. And not only that, the detectives, especially the
were useless.
Yeah. Yes. Dude,
I was about to say. Oh my god, why were they there?
Listen, I was about to say the detectives are stupid. What was
not
their role?
Not even that.
Like, what was their role? Like what was their role part of the story?
They did nothing for the movie.
They did nothing.
I told my friend, I was like, you literally could have taken them out of the movie. Movie would have been no different. It would just be shorter.
That's what I was gonna say.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, they did nothing. All they do is they investigate the crime scene, and it's like, well, people died in this boat. Yeah, no shit, we saw it.
Just do something.
And then they like the parking lot of the bar, like, well, these people are dead. Maybe it was Morbius because it was a vampire and all their blood. Yeah, we saw that. Like, dude, like, what the fuck are these cops doing, man?
And I feel like they try to make I don't know his name. The dude who brought it in the holy water. I feel like they try to make him funny.
Yeah,
they tried to make him funny, like comedic relief or something.
Yeah.
It didn't work. It didn't work at all. Yeah.
Dude, and you know what's funny is that Tyrese Gibson is the other cop.
Right.
And in the trailers, in the interviews, he was like, oh, like, it's really cool that my character, you know, has a robotic arm. And, like, it's really cool because he has a robotic arm. And, like, in the movie, I get to show off a bunch of, like, cool things that I get to do with it. It's very bionic and it's cool and shit, blah, blah, blah.
What was that?
They cut all of that out of the movie.
No, well, he was bionic. He flew up those stairs.
Yeah.
He flew up those stairs in 2 seconds and pointed the
So
gun at Morbius. He's
stupid.
like, "Got your ass!" Like, bro,
No, it's dumb.
bro,
That's fast.
you literally see Morbius shoot up like flights of stairs, and all of a sudden, when Morbius about to jump out the roof, he's already there. I'm already here, bitch. Like,
No,
not
dude,
even an elevator
I
can
don't
get you
care,
up there.
bro. I don't care.
That shit's dumb as
I was
shit.
already out. I'm like, bro, like, fuck this movie, dude. I'm just
That's just funny as
waiting it
fuck.
out. I'm
Yeah.
just waiting it out at this point.
But yeah.
I had already given it up.
Yeah, the comedy wasn't there, man. That's one
I
thing
didn't care
gotta
for
say.
the cops. Okay, so what have I said? The intro was rushed.
Yeah,
The romance I didn't buy. The
The-
cops were bullshit.
the,
The jokes were not
the
funny.
the childhood with Milo and
Right, like that. Like
Yeah,
the
like I
intro.
said,
The
who do- I don't know who
all
Milo is,
rushed.
bro.
I don't give a fuck. And here was my really big problem. Here was my big problem
Oh,
with
shit.
the movie is the villain.
Milo.
Yeah. First of all, I did not buy this motherfucker as a villain. Okay, I don't. He's
like,
not.
Like, it's kind of weird because I could like it's one of those things where like I can see where he's coming from.
Like,
in a
I
point.
guess,
Yeah,
but there
like,
was no
that's what I-
build up.
No. What I meant is like for a villain, you'd be like, "Yo, this dude's fucking evil. This dude's fucking crazy." But like Thanos type shit, right? What the fuck, like,
Yeah.
you know. But with him, you could. There was a point where I was like, I can understand what he's saying. Like, he's been crippled his whole life. Death was always lingering. People were making fun of him as a kid. He had a shitty childhood. He can't really live his life, and finally, now that he can, he wants to do that. And like at that point, I was like, okay, I can see it, but obviously, you can't go killing the newspaper stand, man, right?
Here's the
Yeah.
Like,
Here's the thing. Everything that you just said,
yeah.
like you made those assumptions. Like you jumped
Yeah.
to those. You can't do that. The movie is supposed to like show you to
Right.
understand him.
Well, I mean, he says
The
it though,
What?
and in the movie, Milo says it. It's like we've had death lingering,
Right,
blah blah
but-
blah. I want to live.
But
he
I
says
All
those
never.
things.
like these people
but I
don't know the
never.
fear.
Yeah.
afterwards,
No,
something
but
like that,
here's
yeah.
my thing:
He
is
sees-
that I never bought him to ever be evil.
Was it the script or like the acting or
No, the actor's fine. I mean, I know he played Doctor
Like the script.
Who. Sure, yeah. The script. I mean, it's the script and the story. Like they just don't
Yeah.
do the villain. Like I told my friend, I'm like, am I
Yeah.
crazy? Like I asked her, I'm like, I never once bought that Milo was a villain. I never bought that he was evil
I thought-
because
yeah.
he seemed normal.
Yeah.
he seemed like a good guy.
Right.
Up until he visited Morbius in the prison.
Oh, that's another thing that we talked about. But what we said is like, how the fuck did he?
Oh yeah.
How the fuck did he
yeah,
smuggle
yeah.
blood in his pocket going to a cell? Wouldn't you think like they'd check your shit? Like,
I told
You
you,
know what I
I
mean?
checked out, bro. I didn't give a fuck about the movie at this point.
but that's what
I'm like,
but,
whatever.
But now you're hearing it now. Like, what do you think of that? Where he like, bro, they would check your
Of
shit.
course, I don't.
That shit was
I don't
funny
give
as
a fuck.
shit. Mario and I are like, what the fuck? They didn't check this man.
I
It's
don't
funny
know.
as hell.
But here's my thing: like
Yeah.
he felt like a good guy.
Yeah.
And he looked like a good guy up until the prison.
Right.
He visits him and even has a conversation with Morbius as a good guy. And he's like, by the way, and he like slips the bag of blood. He's like, take a little bit of that, blah blah blah. And as he's walking, he leaves the cane, and you're like, what the fuck, White?
Yeah.
And you realize he took the serum. But here's the thing: is that he's walking out of the prison, and it's almost as if that walk is what made him evil. Because he went from good guy Milo talking to Morbius, and then when he left the prison, he's out here killing people and shit.
Right.
Where did this come from?
There's not
Where
much,
was the buildup? Where was, like, there was no. Here's the word.
There's not that much character development.
Exactly. Here's the thing. That I found the perfect word for it. There was no foreshadowing.
Yeah.
There was no foreshadowing. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's
like
true.
this dude's gonna be evil.
Okay.
no,
No.
don't say that the kids beat him up. It's
No,
not
no, no,
enough.
no, no, no.
It's not
No,
enough.
it's not there.
She
It's-
said, my friend said, it's like, well, as a kid he got beat. I'm like, no,
No,
man,
no.
it's not
No,
enough.
I think no.
oh
I
my
agree with
God.
you. I agree with you. It's not enough. But I would say people would argue the part where he wanted the serum and Morbius was like, "No, you can't be a monster." He's like, "What the fuck? You're just gonna let me die then?" Like at that point, he was getting frustrated. I don't care. Blah blah. blah. I want this serum. He's like,
That's
"No,
another
I'm trying
problem.
to
I
save
hate
you."
it.
I feel like that part.
No,
maybe
that's-
people.
the script was bad.
I'm just
It's
saying
trash.
maybe people will argue that part foreshadowing.
No,
That could be a-
even
no, I
then
can
I
see
wouldn't
that.
buy
I
it.
can
First of
see
all, the
that.
script's trash. Because if a smart movie would be like, well, hey, Morbius, tell him why it's bad. He never did. He's like, no, you can't take it. You're like, I can't do that to you. And he's like, but why? Like, I'm dying, blah, blah, blah.
That's true.
And it's like,
He
hey,
didn't tell
Morbius,
him.
tell
He didn't
him.
tell him.
He didn't
Tell him it turned me into a vampire. I have to drink blood. I'm killing people. I don't want that
Yeah,
for you.
he did.
I'm sure he'd be like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? You're right, bro. Like, I'm not trying to kill people. I bet.
But
like,
then again, he did see him like when he was like, "Get out." He did see him.
Yeah, he
turn.
saw the face. Yeah, he did see the
Milo
face.
did see him turn. And he was spooked, and that's why he left. He's
I
like, what the
guess,
fuck?
but still, like a fucking logical script would be like.
I'm
like,
just trying to find counter arguments. You know what I mean? So we get out the way.
But the thing is,
You know
is
what I
that
mean?
they don't work because they're weak. Like it's like nitpicking. Like it's like if people were to actually use that as their argument, like you're reaching, bro. You're reaching because a better movie would have done things better and differently. But no, dude, I never bought his villainy. There was no foreshadowing. I never once bought that he was ever a bad guy. He was a good guy for literally half the movie, and then when he's walking out the prison, it's almost as if his character development from good guy to evil was that walk, because that's how it was like. It was like I flipped the fucking switch. Right. His turn from good guy to bad guy was that quick.
Speaking of character development, I feel like that also lacked with Michael.
Of course.
And here's this is what I thought, and I feel like it would have been really cool.
Okay.
Cause like I said, Morbius is a fucking villain, and then he becomes an anti-hero. He's a fucking villain first.
They were never gonna do that in this movie,
right? But I wanted it to. But here, let me say this. Maybe you'll be like, well, okay. Listen. So what if he is the villain, right? And he's doing batshit crazy, he's murdering people, whatnot, and then maybe he's like, you know what? Like I'm having fun. I feel so powerful. I feel alive. Blah blah blah. But maybe I should figure out like the time or like what the fuck. And so it takes us to the scene where he's like timing himself.
Yeah.
And he locks himself in the room, and then Milo shows up. What if right there, Morbius kills Milo? What if at that point Morbius, he just couldn't take it because he's dying. He ends up killing Milo. And then he's finally
like his Uncle Ben moment.
Yes, exactly. That's his point. That's the switch where he's like, "Oh my God, I killed my best friend. I did this. This is where I need to change. This is where he becomes the anti-hero."
So,
wouldn't that be better?
So
I would have enjoyed that.
If that were the case, that would probably be the other good thing about the movie.
Yeah, but they didn't do
but
it.
No, of course not, because the movie's trash.
I know.
But
just hearing that, wouldn't that be a lot better?
It would be better, but
I would have liked it
if the rest of the movie was the same.
I know.
I'd still be like, fuck this movie. You know what I mean?
I would have believed that. Okay, we saw him become a villain,
right?
And because him being villain, he killed one of his best friends, like person that meant a lot to him in his life, and that is what made him switch. You know what? I can't do this anymore, and that's where he becomes the anti-hero, where he tries to find a cure. Because even in the comics, Michael he doesn't like being a Morbius. He doesn't like being a vampire.
Yeah.
So I would like to see that switch. Maybe that would have been cool as fuck. I would have liked it.
Probably.
I would have liked that.
I didn't buy the death of the guy.
Of the
doctor dude, like the father figure. I didn't give a fuck.
Oh yeah.
Who is this guy? Fuck this dude.
We had no connection with him. His
I've
death
seen.
felt.
I didn't care.
Yeah, we didn't care.
It held no emotion.
I didn't give a fuck, bro. This whole movie, I had no emotion, Mario. I didn't have emotion with anything.
Wow, I can't wait for your rating.
Dude,
we'll get
I
to that later.
Care, bro. Like this fucking movie, like it just there was so much that was wrong with it. Like as far like rushed editing, like stuff that you don't buy. Milo's villainy, the romance, the detectives, like they served no fucking purpose. Like I didn't care about Richard Harris's character, the father figure, the doctor that raised them. I didn't give a fuck. I didn't buy that he was ever a dad figure. He was barely in the movie.
That's true.
His total screen time in the whole movie was probably 5 minutes. He was barely in it, and I didn't really care. Like when he was in it, he'd only say a couple of lines and then leave.
Yeah.
I didn't really care. Oh, I will say this. Another thing I guess I liked about the movie, doesn't save it, but another thing that I liked was the dialogue between Michael and Milo. Like when they were walking down the street and shit on the way to the park.
Oh.
Like I bought the fact that they were friends on the dialogue. I'm like, okay, like yeah, they're like talking, like they're making like jokes and kind of like poking fun at each other. Like that I bought. Like okay, these guys are clearly friends. I bought the chemistry between them more than I bought Michael and Martine.
Yeah.
I bought it more. I didn't feel nothing with that
right.
bitch. And then she gets bitten or some shit. I don't know what happened. Like, at the end of the movie, she opens her eyes and it's like, I don't care.
I thought she died, and I was actually upset with that. I was pissed. I was like, how the fuck are you gonna kill this character off, Martine?
You know, I saw her lick her lips.
No, I know you don't. But for me, like I said, I read some of the comic books, right? So I know who Martine is, and she plays a big role, especially with Midnight Suns. You know, so when I thought she died, I was like, what the fuck? But then later she comes back to life. I guess she's a vampire now, which I'm like,
she like opens her eyes. And
I don't know too much about that, but when I saw that, I was like, what the fuck? Okay. And not only that, the fight scene at the end,
garbage.
Was it really a fight scene?
It was garbage.
You know what I mean? Dude, this motherfucker, they just fall like so much, and then all of a sudden, I need my beds.
And the bodies were like so close to the camera, like I barely saw what was happening. Like I was like, what the?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it was really a fight scene.
I didn't care for it. Like it was so dumb. And then when like
you called the bat.
He was like, call for Michael when he had Martine by the neck, or she's like, call him, like tell him to come here, right? It's like, dude, just kill her because I don't care. Like fuck this bitch. Like I don't give a fuck. I was so done with the movie at that point. I'm like, there's nothing. Like you could literally, because here's my theory. Well, actually, I'll keep it for later. But I was like, fuck this movie, dude. Like that whole thing, and that another thing that I was going to talk about was the end fight. Like the fight was so short.
It was.
It didn't
seem like a fight to me.
And like the climactic badass moment was when he called the bats.
Yeah,
which were pointless. I feel like
I didn't care for like what
I thought it was pointless. I'm just like, why? When I saw that, I'm like, what the fuck was the point of those bats? Just to distract them or some shit? They're not hurting him. Did like what the fuck?
He did like a Kamehameha type bullshit.
Yeah,
he did that, and he pushed the bats, and the bats like I guess forced Milo onto like something, and at that point I don't know what the fuck happened. I think the bats ate that motherfucker.
I don't know, bro. But you see, like when you have questions, you're like, what happened? Like that makes a movie trash. Like
it was short.
How do filmmakers not see this? Or maybe they didn't. Even they didn't care for this movie. Maybe they were like, man. You know what? Like fuck this movie. The movie's doomed. Like,
it's Sony, man. Fucking Sony sucks ass, bro.
They're fucking up, dude.
They are, man.
They're fucking up because they're trying to create their own MCU.
I know.
They're trying to create their own universe. And like Venom 1 was mid, Venom 2 was worse.
Yeah.
Morbius is trash.
Out of all the Sony Marvel shit, I think Venom might be the best one.
I told my friend hated Venom because we went to go see Venom 2. Me and her,
Venom 2 was dog shit.
We went to go see Venom with Carnage, right?
Yeah.
And I went with her. Like it was the same friend. And I was like, this movie was dumb. Like they did my boy Carnage dirty. Like
dirty as fuck.
Bro, I was like the fucking one.
I can't wait till we get the review on that one.
The only time we'll probably ever get a live action Carnage, and this is what we get. I was so pissed. I'm like, this movie's trash. She's like, oh my god, I didn't like that movie. I was like, I didn't either. And by the way, just so that you guys know, this friend of mine, she's a huge Marvel nut, like just like us. So she's just
MCU, like just
MCU, but like with MCU, but she's also like familiar. She doesn't read comics, but she's familiar with comic book characters and their origins and stuff. So she's just as big a fan as us. So when she's like, I didn't like it, like her opinion's valid because she knows Venom, she knows Spider-Man.
No, the way they did Venom was dirty as fuck too.
I'm like, bro, why does Venom act like a fucking idiot, bro? Like, why does he act like that?
No, we'll get to that. This is not a Venom review, but yeah,
dude, it's just so trash.
I know, bro.
But look, but here's the thing: like those movies are mid and they're trash, and I fucking hate them. But after watching Morbius, looked at my friend, I was like, I'd rather watch Venom than this bullshit.
No, facts. That's facts.
And she was like, no, like I hated Venom. Wow. I'm like, I did too. Don't you remember? But I'd rather watch that shit than this fucking movie. This movie made no damn sense, bro. Fuck this movie.
Yeah.
And here's another thing I didn't like. Is that I watched the trailers for Morbius.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
And the biggest,
I think I told you
and
too.
the biggest what the fuck moment in the trailer, the first ever Morbius trailer.
Yep.
Right, because it's like the trailer, Morbius, blah blah blah, and then the title card, Morbius coming soon. But you know how sometimes trailers do that thing.
He did the voice.
Yeah, I know.
Morbius. The way he did his voices.
But you know how like trailers do that thing where it shows the title.
Yeah.
And then there's a little scene after the title in the trailer that like is supposed to like get you hype. Like, you know what I mean? Like when they show the title, there's like a little scene at the. Here's an example: Captain America: Civil War. Remember, it was like Captain America: Civil War, and then it was the Underoos, and then it was Spider-Man's reveal because everyone knew Spider-Man.
That shit was crazy. Remember that?
Yeah, exactly. But you see how,
dude, I missed those times, bro. That shit was lit.
That was a golden.
The whole Avengers and shit. The whole Thanos shit.
Yeah,
oh,
that
man.
whole build-up was crazy. But
Yeah.
but like, you know how trailers will do that where it shows the title and then they show you another like last scene before the get your tickets now, like before that fucking scene. Like they show you a little scene in the movie to get you hype.
Right.
The first ever Morbius trailer to ever hit the internet, Morbius, right? And the scene was Michael Keaton as the Vulture from Homecoming in Morbius, and you're like, whoa, what is this? What the fuck? Wait, so does this movie take place in the MCU? All the shit, that's cool. Like, and there's all these different theories.
Right.
And then I sit through this dog shit movie, and I was like, where was Vulture? What happened to him? Post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to say like, oh, okay.
And I was like, what? So he was a post-credit scene? Why'd you show that in the trailer? You spoiled it at that point.
Yeah.
And it showed that it was the No Way Home spell bullshit that he transferred from the MCU to this
Before
universe.
we get to that though, I thought you were going to mention something else. Where in the trailer they showed Spider-Man with the word murderer. Do you remember that?
Yeah, they took that out.
They took that out, and I told Mario that the director for Morbius, he came out and he said he doesn't know why they put that there.
He's like, I have no recollection of there ever being a
What?
Spider-Man poster. I was like, motherfucker, fuck
What?
off.
I don't know,
Fuck
man.
off, bro.
I don't know.
But here's the thing. I was confused because I'm like, whoa. And I'm like, that's my boy Toby. That's my boy right there. So this takes place in Toby's universe?
Wasn't it Andrew?
No, it's Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man
Really?
suit. I can pull it up right now.
Pull it up, bro.
Dude, and
I
not
swear
only that,
I thought it was
not
Andrew.
only that, but you don't know this. You don't know this because you didn't play the Spider-Man game. But
Not yet, y'all. Not yet.
you haven't played it. But when you play Spider-Man the video game, when the game is loading, like when the game is like loading like the story mode or something or whatever, it's loading cutscenes or whatever.
Yeah.
The loading screen is Spider-Man in an iconic pose, and his suit is whatever suit you have him on in the game. Right? So it's funny because that background poster in Morbius is literally the Spider-Man PS4 game. It's a screenshot of him of a loading screen. Like it's a pose that he does on the loading screen, but it's Tobey Maguire's suit. And I was
Now,
like,
pull it up, Hob. I swear,
I'm
man.
telling you, bro. I am telling you,
Pull it
it's
up.
his suit.
I swear to
Oh,
God,
shit,
I
what
thought.
the fuck?
I swear to God, I thought it was Andrew, bro.
Nope. It's Tobey, bro.
Because I assumed since it's Sony, right? I assumed that Morbius and the Venom and the Amazing Spider-Man, I thought they were gonna be their own universe. Since it's
So
Sony.
that's my theory, and I told my friend this. That's my theory, is that this universe,
Yeah.
Venom and Morbius, they take place in the same, because the detective is like, we haven't seen anything this crazy since the shit going on in San Francisco, which is where Venom takes place. So it's been confirmed that Venom and Morbius takes place in the same universe. But my thing is that my theory, and even the director has come out and said, Sony will absolutely kill me if I told you what universe this takes place in. Like, he even said it in an interview. My theory is that this takes place in Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man universe.
Right.
That's
what I think, and that's why I thought that poster on the trailer. I thought that was Andrew.
No, look.
Oh, you said Toby, right? You said
Toby.
Toby.
It's Toby.
Oh. Sorry.
The picture on the left is the loading screenshot from the game,
Oh, you're right.
and the poster. You see how the poster? It's the same pose of Spider-Man. It's from the game, bro. That's literally a loading screen picture from the game.
You're right. It is Toby.
It's Toby, bro. So I was hyped because I was like, wait a minute, are we gonna see
fuck?
Toby again?
Spider-Man 4.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe. You never know, right? I'm down to see Toby in another movie. But I was like, what the fuck? And then that's another thing. I was like, I didn't even see that Where's that scene where the poster... And he came out and he was like, I have no recollection that poster was in... Like, shut the fuck up, bro. As a director, like, fuck out of here. You didn't see your own trailers. Fuck off, bro.
Maybe he did, but he couldn't do shit about it. Maybe it wasn't his range. Like,
Or
'cause
maybe...
that's marketing type shit.
But here's the thing. Or maybe... They added that poster in the background to kind of like hype people.
Yeah, definitely.
But maybe last minute, Sony was like, you know what? Fuck that.
We can't do that.
Let's make this universe take place in Andrew's universe. So let's take out that poster because it's Toby's. Maybe they did something like that. I don't know. But either way,
I feel like it'll make sense if it takes place in Andrews.
it does. It has to because Venom already existed in Toby's.
And not only that, what do you mean, Toby? What do you mean?
Venom already existed in Tobey Maguire's universe.
Yeah, his that Venom. But yeah, especially because the whole hype against Andrew now, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love Andrew. So if they make an amazing, and Sony, they care about that money, they see that Andrew is popping or whatever the fuck,
Yeah.
I don't doubt it that they'll make a third one. You know what I mean? I feel like they would. I feel like
be pretty cool.
I feel like they're the type to do it. But whatever, that's our thought. Mario, you want to say anything? I know you weren't really talking that much. We're over here ranting and shit.
Yeah, you keep cutting me off.
What?
Both of y'all.
You could say shit.
I do, but
can
y'all
jump
keep
in.
going.
All right, go ahead. Talk.
It's too late.
Let me
now.
mute.
I lost my train of thought.
No, because you had nothing to say.
Yeah, I would have shit to say, but then y'all keep talking.
All right, go on.
It's too late. I don't know what.
What are some things? Okay, some things you didn't like. You already said them all, no?
Like I said, the bats were stupid. I think they were pointless. The way the movie actually ended with him in the fucking air, like what was it? It ended like what, did it close up to his face?
Yeah,
right. Basically, I didn't like that because I was like, it ended in a way I'm like, that was it. I feel like there should be like 10 minutes more.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like the way it ended.
Was cut short.
The way they showed that the girlfriend was still alive was stupid. I didn't like that. I was like, wait, what?
Because no one cares.
Yeah, and when I saw her lick her lips, I'm like, wait, are they
Yeah,
gonna make her
kiss?
Yeah,
Remember
no.
the kiss? She's like, she's licking her
No,
lips
it's
and
'cause
shit.
she like bit him or something.
I didn't care.
Oh,
And
she
that's how-
did.
and that's how she became whatever the fuck Morbius is.
She bit it. She bit
And
his
he
lip.
ate, and she like sucked the blood. I'm like, wait.
Oh yeah.
And
she
I don't know
bit
if you
his
heard
lip.
me when that scene happened. I was like, wait, what the fuck? I said that, and I'm just like, wait, what the fuck? Is she gonna become like a vampire? Or whatever the fuck this Morbius is again? I forgot. And then it happens. I'm like, oh my god, they're actually gonna do it. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I wonder if that's like comic book related or anything like that. Does she become like a
vampire?
Yeah, or whatever the fuck Morbius is?
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know about that.
Because like I always felt like that relationship was forced between them. He said didn't feel natural. Whatever the fuck Javi said. For me, it just felt forced.
Right.
I feel like they were pushing down this relationship down our throat because they wanted us to believe it so bad. I'm just like, I don't believe it. I feel like they more just coworkers.
Yeah,
That's the vibe I got from both of them.
That's what I felt.
What else I didn't like? The friendship from Milo and what's the guy's name again? Morbius' name?
Michael.
I didn't buy that either. Like I told you from the beginning, I said, remember in the beginning when they literally their first conversations as kids, I'm like, did that conversation feel weird to you? Like it didn't feel like,
oh yeah,
it didn't feel natural to me. I was like, that feels weird.
I remember you did tell me that.
Yeah, I'm just like, what the fuck? It didn't feel natural. I didn't buy their friendship. So when Milo became the main, like the villain, I'm just like, it's kind of a weak villain for me.
Yeah.
So I didn't like the villain in this movie.
That ties into what Javi said.
That's what I'm saying. Like what y'all said, man. Like I'm like they're basically saying what I basically think of the movie, just in their own way. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Javi's probably gonna give this like a fucking 0. I would not doubt it.
But yeah, I guess Javi's in using the restroom real quick. He'll be back shortly. But when he gets back, we'll talk about the end credits, because there was two. There was two.
What was the first one? The first one was
it
was Vulture, right? It was Vulture.
No, it was that was the second one. I think.
The second one is Vulture literally meeting Morbius.
The second one?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, because the first one we see Vulture and we're like, oh, because keep in mind, I only saw one trailer for Morbius and that was it. So I had no idea about the Spider-Man image or whatever.
He showed up in the trailer.
Yeah, so when I saw him there, I was like, oh, it's because of the whole.
So in the first end credit was, you see Vulture in his cell and you see the sky like rip open
because of the fucking Spider-Man.
Because the whole Spider-Man, yeah, right. And then you see, I guess
him.
We're assuming him transferring from that
he
universe. He
kind of just like
to this
pops
one.
into the cell.
Yeah, he just pops in the cell. They're like,
they
oh,
let him go.
What the fuck? They let him go. And that's pretty much it. Then it cuts to the second end credit where you see Morbius. He was driving to a location. He stops. There's like a big field, and then you see Vulture flying in directly to Morbius.
He has his shit, by the way.
Yeah, he has his suit and everything, and he talks with Morbius. He says, "Hey," he basically says, "What if we form a team?" And that's basically how it ends. Him wanting to team up and making a team, which I believe it's the Sinister Six, which, right, Hav? What? Sinister Six.
Yeah, they're setting it up.
Yeah, the fucking Sinister Six, and that's basically what happens. And what I've heard from other people, Mario, is like I told you, like when we were driving the car, they said, I don't understand it. I don't understand what's going on. And I'm like, well, you could clearly see what's going on, and I don't know if they meant it like why are they doing it? Maybe it doesn't make sense on why are they doing it or something. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, as someone who doesn't know and doesn't read any MCU comics at all,
MCU comics.
I mean, or
man, you should, motherfucker. You should.
I don't know, man. I don't really.
You just don't like reading.
I've only read
shit,
mostly DC comics.
And DC go hard, bro.
DC comics, not a lot, but I
like
read
Batman.
some of those. Yeah, obviously Batman, Superman, some of the Flash ones, and then obviously a couple Star Wars ones. But I as someone who
they have Star Wars comics.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, and speaking of Star Wars, everybody, tune in a future episode. We're gonna review Star Wars. What was that movie?
A New Hope.
The New Hope, because I actually saw that movie the first time, like, what, 2 weeks ago or something like that?
2 weeks ago. It was his first content ever of Star Wars. That's the first thing he ever saw.
Not really, because you did make me watch, like,
Mandalorian, that's true. You watched a little bit of Mando, but this is kind of officially it's like first introduction.
Yeah, and like I really want to get into Star Wars and stuff. I never really got into it. I played the video games, obviously, like on PS2, Battlefront, like yeah. All that shit. Typical, yeah. I played those games, but I seen like I would see shows in Cartoon Network and shit.
The Clone Wars.
But that was that. Like I was never into a Star Wars fan, and it's not because like I didn't like it.
That's where like my knowledge comes in.
It was just so overwhelming for me.
Yeah, that's where like most of my knowledge is at.
But
Star Wars.
Tune in, everybody. I'm definitely gonna review that movie, and then I guess my plan is honestly
to those podcasts.
My plan is to review every Star Wars thing. That's what I want to do.
I'm down. I love Star Wars.
Exactly. I know you're down.
About
so if Javi might be down, other people might not be down. So, if it's just me and Mario, fuck it. It'll just be me and Mario. But I'm sure Javi would be down to do that. But
yeah, he will.
But yeah, so tune in for that. But yeah, we're just waiting on Hav. Yo, Hav, we're waiting on you for your response on this end credit, man.
What is he doing?
You hear me?
Yeah, he has to be.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, he has to. He responded to you before. He has to be taking his shit or something.
Do you hear me, Hav? Yeah. All right, man.
I mean, but yeah, do you want to just give our because
you want to give our rating already?
Our rating? Because what is he doing? He's taking his shit.
I think so.
He's taking his shit. He's gonna take it forever. We give our ratings, then we ask him. All right, we give our ratings, then we tell him what we gave the movie.
All right, yeah, okay.
All right.
So you wanna go?
All right. So I just like quick end thoughts of or just overall thoughts of the movie. I think the beginning was good. I was entertained.
Yeah.
I was entertained.
I was entertained too.
It kept me entertained, but then it quickly lost me about halfway through the movie. Like I said, as soon as I saw what's the guy's name? The black cop, the bald dude? That guy? I forgot. The one of the detectives. As soon as I saw him go up all those flight of stairs.
Tyrese?
Yeah, him. And catch up to Morbius.
Bro,
that quickly, I'm just like, bro, okay, hold up.
Bro, we immediately look at each other in the theater. We're like, what the fuck? We look at each other.
I'm just like, how the hell did he climb all those fucking stairs that quickly?
Oh,
I'm like, how do you explain that? You supposed to believe that shit?
And the whole
right
Milo,
then and there, that was the turning point for me. I'm just like, bro.
And the whole Milo sneaking in blood in the cell and shit.
Yeah, that one too. There's like a lot of that type of shit that happens in the movie. I'm just like, no.
I definitely agree with Javi. Milo was definitely a weak villain. I'm gonna say, like,
he is a weak villain.
I wasn't really. You're right. Like, there's some parts where I was like, oh, okay, I've seen worse,
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I feel like what I mentioned before, where we see Morbius as a villain, then he ends up killing Milo because when he locks himself in that cage and he feels regretful, and then that's his switch to become like an anti-hero and like try to fix himself. And I feel like that would have been cool. Like, it would have added definitely more character development.
Yeah, that's true.
But but your rating.
But like I said, I was entertained through the first half. As soon as I got to those set of stairs, that's where it immediately lost me. I think the last fight scene between Milo and Michael, what's his name?
Morbius? Michael?
Okay, it wasn't Michael. Michael. I thought that fight scene was not good. I think the bats were completely fucking useless. I think half the time they were falling or something.
He used like the Force type shit. Like,
yeah, and I'm just like, I'm like, bro, like, what the fuck's the point of these bats? I'm like, I feel like they were totally useless.
Hey, but some real shit. What happened? Did he get eaten alive by the bats or?
I don't know. I feel like the bats pushed Milo or some shit like that. I don't know. I swear to God, I don't know.
I'm trying to remember.
I feel like I need to rewatch it again just to understand it. But I thought that fight scene was stupid.
The fight scene wasn't even a fight scene. Like, there needed to be more. I feel like it was.
The fight scene needed to be longer. But
Yo,
and
how
the
do you remember? Do you remember what happened to Milo, bro? Like, did he get eaten by bats or some shit? I forgot.
He was checked out at that point.
Oh, your mic is muted. I muted it. There you
Is
go.
it?
There you go.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, we
No, I don't know, bro. Like I said, I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
But either way,
We're just
the
getting. We're about to give
the
our
fucking-
rating.
He died, but it's like, wait, did y'all talk about the post credit scene with
Yeah,
him?
we did. Well, you were over there taking a while, so we had to, and we're
No,
about to
that's
give our
cool.
rating. But no, before we give our rating, because we were about to.
Yeah, we're about to.
We
We
get
got
your
it.
thoughts on your.
On the post credit scene?
Yeah, on your end
I
credits.
thought it was stupid that they showed. Well, here's the thing. I was gonna fall. Here's my thing.
He had his hands in the air and everything like, whoa.
I always want to fall backwards. He had his hand like the cartoons where you have your hands in the air, trying to keep yourself balanced and shit.
But I don't know, man. It was weird because they show him in the trailer, and it turns
Uh-huh.
out he's a post-credit scene. And it's like,
Yeah.
so then why would you show that?
For the
Like,
hype,
why
man.
spoil that?
Maybe these guys knew the movie was gonna be butt, and they needed it. They needed
like,
the Spider-Man thing. They needed that in order for people to
That's
go
what I
watch
mean,
it.
bro. Like, it's like a bunch of weird shit, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, that was weird. And then the whole thing at the end where he has a whole vulture get up. I'm like,
Yeah.
first of all, where'd he get that
Bro, we
suit?
said that. We literally said that. We're like, yo,
He pulled up
fuck?
he pulled up fully dripped.
Yeah.
Like, yo, where'd you get that
I was
shit?
like, wait a minute. And so that's actually further confirms the theory that it takes place in Andrew's universe.
Uh-huh.
Because in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Oscorp was shown making all the famous, like, villains as shit.
Uh-huh.
Like, it showed the octopus arms.
Yeah.
Oscorp was making those for some reason. I don't know. They have the Venom symbiote on there for some reason. But one of them was the Vulture's gear. And so I feel like he got that gear
From
from
there.
Andrew Garfield's, like, the Oscorp that they had over there.
But how does he know Morbius again?
I don't know.
It
They
didn't
don't
show, right?
explain
It doesn't explain it. It doesn't explain it.
They're just like,
It doesn't
I've heard a
explain it, I
lot
swear to
about
God.
you.
Bro, how do they meet up? Like how do they
don't
know each
know.
other? But anyways, they make it clear. Vulture says, "What if we team up?" He says it so nonchalant, but obviously they're clearly
A bunch of guys should team up and do something.
yeah,
Like,
like
he's just like, sounds intriguing. I'm like,
yeah, bro. Clear. Okay, it sounds nonchalant, but anyways, they're trying to set up their own universe of villains and make the Sinister Six.
which is
And-
stupid because we already got it. Technically, the Sinister Five.
Oh, in
No Way
Home.
I guess.
Right,
But my thing is, first of all, he's like, I don't know how I got here.
but I hope you
It
have.
has to do with Spider-Man. How do you know that, homie? How does
Oh
it have to do
yeah, he
with
does say that.
Spider-Man.
He does say that.
Homie, like, how do you know that?
Oh, maybe because like he's the only. This is only like enemy that he knows. Maybe he's like, maybe it has something to do
But
with
here's
Spider-Man.
my thing.
Maybe I don't know.
I don't like the writing. Again, this just goes back to the script. It's fucking garbage. It was why is Vulture? Why does he hate Spider-Man? What the fuck? Because even I'm not a huge fan of Homecoming. Homecoming was cool, but it wasn't my Spider-Man movie. I have things to say about that movie.
No, the best Spider-Man was No Way Home, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was better than Homecoming.
Especially like it's because, bro, I'm into like character development. I'm into the darker tones. You know what I mean? And No Way Home showed that, where Spider-Man's dying and like him like so mad and whatnot. I like that. And,
Yeah, me
but
too.
anyways,
But
this
then
isn't a
it made-
Spider-Man review. We'll get to
But
that.
my thing is, I'm like, why does Vulture hate Spider-Man? Like, where did this hatred come from?
Yeah.
Because he clearly liked them in the Homecoming. Like, they were villains. Like, they hated. Like, they were rivals, right? But if I remember correctly from Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man saved them because his suit was gonna blow up or some shit. So he saved them, and then he like webbed them up and he went to prison. And there was a post-credit scene where the Vulture is in prison and he meets Scorpion. So Scorpion,
Yeah.
and he's like, word around the joint is who Spider-Man is, like his real identity.
And he
then
doesn't tell him.
And he's like, if I knew who he was, he'd already be dead.
Yeah.
Like, he kept his identity a secret.
Right.
Because he's like, you know what? He saved my life, so, I guess, yeah, I'm in prison, but, like, he saved my life. So, you know what? He protected him. he kept his identity. He knew that Spider-Man was Peter Parker, but he didn't tell nobody. He's like,
Yeah.
if I knew who he was, he'd already be dead. Like, he kept his name a secret, so he protected him. And now, he hates him now? You know what I mean? Like, what the... where did this switch come from? It felt like Milo. Once again, like, I didn't buy the villainy. Where did this come from? Like, you first protected him and had his back, and now you hate him? Where did that come from? You know what I mean? And honestly, bro, like... it's been 3 movies now. Venom, Venom 2, Morbius. They're making a Kraven the Hunter movie. That's confirmed.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the guy that plays Quicksilver in Age of Ultron, Wanda's brother, he's going to be playing Kraven.
Oh, wow.
He was also Kick-Ass, if you guys remember that movie.
Yeah. Which was... I thought Kick-Ass was entertaining.
It's still good, bro. I watched it. It's on HBO Max.
Oh, really?
It still holds up. It's good. But he's playing Kraven. It's confirmed. The chick from 50 Shades of Grey, she's going to be playing Madam Web.
Uh-huh. He was scratching his mic. I could hear it.
Oh. But you guys know who Madam Web is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me neither. But anyways,
Me neither.
but the girl from 50 Shades of Grey, the chick,
Uh-huh.
the BDSM
I'm trying to
chick.
remember.
Is it a young chick?
Yeah, the
she's
brunette
young.
chick, the one who's
Because Madam Web in the comic book,
is
she's an old lady.
I know.
So why they? It's
Dude.
the whole Aunt May bullshit.
I don't.
I'm gonna be real, Hav. I like Tobey Maguire's Aunt May, bro. Just
duh.
like the fucking comic books.
Duh.
This other chick, I'm trying to bang this chick.
Duh.
I ain't trying to think that.
Yeah.
It's Aunt May.
I didn't care that Aunt May died in No Way Home.
Oh, hey guys, we're gonna leave it at that. We're gonna save that for the No Way Home review, which we're gonna do eventually. But
no.
yeah, no, I know.
So like, they're
just
trying
saying.
to make their own MCU.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
they know for whatever fucking reason,
Which is so shit.
I don't know the reason. I don't know why they can't just use Spider-Man. They're like, no, we have to make an MCU type of. We have to make a Sony verse of Marvel of Spider-Man characters. But they're like, well, let's give the villains their own story. And admittedly, I'm not gonna lie, when I heard that, I'm like, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's
like
cool.
giving because Spider-Man
Hell yeah, it's cool. I
is
think it's
up
cool.
is up there with Batman, in my opinion, as having the best rogues gallery,
Oh yeah.
having the most iconic villains. So
Yeah.
you want to give those villains, especially like the lesser known ones like Morbius and Kraven, and you want to give them their own solo movies. That sounds cool, and I was for it. But now we're here, like what, 4 or 5 years later. 3 failed attempts with movies, and we have like 2 or 3 more still to come. A for sure gonna happen 3rd Venom movie. We have a Kraven the Hunter movie, a Madam Web movie coming out, and it's like I don't care.
Bro,
I'm
Sony
now at the
Sony needs
point-
help, man.
It's
They need writers from the MCU, dog. They need some
not
help,
even
man.
that, bro. I mean, sometimes the MCU can miss.
Well,
Sometimes.
like what about the recent movies? From MCU.
Recently they've been killing it,
That's what I'm saying.
but I don't know.
I'm trying to think of an MCU movie that I didn't really like. I can't really think of one
that like didn't like.
that I didn't like. Yeah, I can't really think of one.
Ragnarok had way too many jokes.
Really?
I didn't mind it.
I love
Thor Ragnarok was.
I didn't mind it.
I didn't like.
I don't like the first 2 Thor movies.
The first Thor movie was
really?
better than Ragnarok, in my opinion. Ragnarok had too many
We'll-
jokes. It was
we'll
too
get to those.
lighthearted. It was too.
Oh, like Thor? You mean like Thor?
Like how they switched up his character and
Yeah.
then now he acts
I
like
agree
Venom.
with that. I agree with
He
that.
basically is Venom from Sony. You know
Why
what
do
I
they,
mean?
dude? I don't understand why Marvel like thinks that they need to do that with characters.
didn't
You
have
know what
to.
I mean? No, but they think they do. That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
So
why would
Marvel,
they do that?
the MCU
They should
now,
just tone it down a
the
little bit.
MCU now has become more comedy
Yeah,
centric than
fuck
the
yeah.
older movies did.
Definitely,
and I'm
bro.
kind of afraid that they're gonna keep going down that path. Because even though, as much as I liked other movies like Black Widow, not Black Widow, fuck that, but like Shang-Chi
that one.
or
Shang-Chi, dude, that
or
was an
Lo-
amazing
or
movie.
Loki,
I love that movie.
Even then, those properties also had too many jokes in parts that didn't need them. You know what I mean? And I liked Shang-Chi. It was good. I liked it more than Black Widow and Eternals, but even that movie had jokes in places that it didn't fit. Like, you could have just not had a joke in that scene, and it's like... So I'm hoping MCU doesn't go down that route, but
Yeah.
whatever. But like I said, bro, Sony's trying to make their own MCU with the Spider-Man villains. It sounded like a cool concept, but here we are, 3 movies later, and with
They're
like
not-
3 other movies in development on the way to supposedly come out. And I'm just not in it. I'm not for it anymore. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I now can't get
But regardless,
excited because
we're still gonna check out the movies.
Yeah, we still gotta.
I mean,
watch.
if we're just gonna, we're kind of tied. We have to, because how else are we gonna make these Heat Vision podcasts? These will get this is our fuel.
Yeah, honestly.
But like, I don't know, bro. I'm just not excited. Like, if I hear it's coming out, I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's either or. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm betting my money. Like, unless they get unless we're gonna have what's a good villain? I don't know. Like, hey, we're gonna make in that same universe that Morbius and Venom takes place. Like, hey, let's make a Green Goblin movie. I'll be like, I'm not excited for it because Sony and Marvel, Venom and Morbius sucked. But like, unless they get some badass directors and script writers, then I'll get excited. Like, if you were to tell me that Sony is making a solo Green Goblin movie and Matt Reeves is directing it,
Sheesh.
I'm running to the theater. Like, oh, well, it's Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves did
The
amazing
hell?
with the Batman.
You know what I mean? Not only that, but he's also done other movies in the
Planet
past
of the Apes.
that were also really good. And the first Cloverfield movie. So I'm like, oh.
Cloverfield, yeah, we got to review that one.
I fucking love the first.
And
Cloverfield was
and I
lit.
was like, well, if he's directing it, it's got to be fire. It's Matt
Yeah.
Reeves. The fuck? Unless Sony does some bullshit like they've been doing and meddle with the director's film, and they're like, no, well, the
Right.
movie, we got to cut this part out, or you got to put more of this, because that's what they did with Mark Webb,
Yeah.
with his Amazing Spider-Man, the Andrew movies, and that's why those movies are considered mid, because Sony couldn't let Mark Webb make his own movie. They were like, no, have Peter skateboard, because kids are into that nowadays, and it's like, but no, like what? Like,
Yeah.
but they forced him, kind of like how they forced Sam Raimi to add Venom in Spider-Man 3 when he didn't want to. Unless Sony keeps meddling with their that's another thing too, is I feel that Sony keeps, I think like they want so badly for these movies to do well,
Yeah.
that they don't let their directors and their filmmakers make the movie they want to make. I feel like there's some, call me a conspiracy theorist, but I think there's some behind the scenes shit that's going on. That's what made the first two Venom movies and now Morbius trash, is that Sony is just trying to
Maybe.
do something. They're like, no,
Maybe.
like, these movies need to be like this, and that's why the movies are falling short, because maybe the directors and the filmmakers want to do one way, and then Sony's like, no, you got to do it this way.
Yeah.
Hey, Sony has done it before. They did it with Spider-Man 3. They did it with the two Andrew movies, the Spider-Man Andrew movies. They did it with Venom 1. Like, they've had a track record of fucking with the filmmakers' like movie. They're like, add more of this, take this out, don't do this, make the movies PG-13. Like, no, what are you talking about, rated R? Fuck you, you're stupid. Like they've had a track record. So I wouldn't be surprised if these movies are failing because Sony is being super big brother about it. Like, you got to do it the way we want it. Fuck that. But again, like I said, I'm at the point where now I just can't get excited for the next Sony and Marvel movie. I don't care if there's a Kraven the Hunter, fucking Madam Web movie, Venom 3, fuck out of here. Like, I can't get excited because we're 3 movies in and they've all been misses.
We'll have to see. We're just gonna have to see, bro. But
yeah, we have to wait and see.
I'm just not excited. Like, I'm like, dude, like, at least you know, recognize that you're failing and just cut it. Like, stop it. Just cancel the whole universe, bro.
Yeah.
Like, just start from scratch. Like, just.
It's kind of like what
focus on
Warner
doing-
Bros. It's because Sony and Warner Bros. They see MCU's success and they're just trying to do the same thing. but
Right.
They just can't. They just suck. You know. Well, recently Warner Bros. is chilling and they're actually the few DC movies that were coming out or that came out. I liked them. They were good.
They're better now.
But I'm talking like before. You know what they
Yeah.
did. But with that being said, I say we wrap this up. Give our ratings. Mari, do you want to go first with your rating?
I was already saying what I thought about the movie, so I'm not gonna repeat myself. I'll give this movie a 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10, so average.
I think it's just average.
Okay, that's fair.
There's good and there's bad.
Yeah.
I think equal on both sides, so I give it average. Do I recommend you go to movie theaters to watch it? No. I say wait until it's available on Amazon at your home. I don't think this is a movie you gotta go and pay a expensive ass movie ticket.
Right.
I say wait for it to come on Netflix or whatever the fuck streaming service it comes out on.
Uh-huh.
That's my thoughts.
So my rating, I was entertained for a while. I do like that some of the origins in the movie was fairly accurate to the comic books. I actually really enjoyed that. But same what Mario said. I don't really recommend watching this movie in the theaters and go wasting your money. Maybe go watch it on some illegal website or just wait. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just wait it out. It's not the next big thing. It's not you have to watch this in the theater like the Batman or No Way Home. I want to see. Oh fuck! Excuse me. But yeah, my rating. I think I'm gonna give it a 4. That's my rating. I'm gonna give it a 4. So I'm gonna pass it to you, Hav.
I give it a 1.
Ooh, I really thought you were gonna give it a 0.
Yeah, me too. Huh? Dang, a 1. Okay, at least it's not a 0.
No,
Damn.
because like I said, there were a few things, even though it doesn't save the movie, there were still a few things that I liked.
Right.
I was like, okay, that was cool, but like it's not enough. It's not enough. So it's a 1. I can't. It's funny because you're like I wouldn't recommend if you guys go see it in theaters. Don't waste your money. Wait till it comes out. Like I'm like, don't watch this movie. Like just don't waste your time. Like
Yeah, see, that's where I disagree. Like if you like Morbius as a character from the comic books or whatever, you're into Marvel, I feel like you go ahead and watch this movie, but don't go to the theater and buy it. Obviously, like Javi disagrees. Javi says that don't watch it at all.
It's a waste of time.
I disagree. So that's why I gave it a 4 and damn, a 1. Okay. That's fair.
It's just a waste of time.
That's
dude.
fair.
It's a waste of fucking time, dude.
But hey, to lighten up the mood, the next episode we're gonna review the first episode of Moon Knight. So come on, Javi, you got to cheer up for that, right? But yeah. So stay tuned, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you in the next podcast, and remember, don't let your pets haunt you. Take care, everyone.
Peace.
See ya.